Okay, I wanted to walk you through some tools that will help you generate ideas, topics, and questions for the guide or article that you are working on. And some of these tools, the goal really, or the purpose of them, is so that we can see what people are searching for, what questions they have, and how we can hopefully give them all the information in one place to make their life easier and save them some time. We want to take these ideas and then turn them into an outline and use the outline to research and really draft an article that we can deliver to a writer to hopefully use their great copywriting skills to deliver a finished product. So let's take a quick look at, say, the gas log category right here. We were initially working on a gas log guide, and in my opinion, it was really broad and we needed to drill down just a little bit. So we're going to focus on the ultimate guide to vented gas logs. Our target reader is just a normal homeowner wanting gas logs for their home. And they're leaning towards regular vented logs, but they're probably not sure why. And they've heard of vent-free logs. And so we'll want to make sure that we want to educate them a little bit on the difference. But the focus will be not so much on a comparison of vent-free versus vented, but more so just how to go about choosing the best set of vented logs for your home. But let's do a little research now to determine and confirm that what we want to write about. So I've got this document right here where it's focused on this research. I've got another document open right here, which is going to be where we're going to capture the ideas. And I've got about 12 different slots right here that we'll use to capture ideas. But then we will go from the ideas on to an outline. But to get started here, let's look real quickly at one of the best tools there is the Google search bar and the related searches that come up in that. And what the related searches are, if you see, it's what comes up when you type in a search term. And so if we go up here and we have vented gas logs, and we key it in, we can see right here that we have, okay, well, people also are searching for vented gas logs versus unvented, BTUs with remote, ventless. This right here gives us so much to work with, okay? But what we've got to do is kind of put ourselves in the searcher's mind on what are they really looking at. So the first one's pretty easy, vented gas logs versus unvented. And so this is what we want to, I think, note right here is that unvented is really another word for vent-free. BTUs, gas logs, BTUs, they really want to know how much heat do vented gas logs generate. So that's a topic that we're going to want to explore. Vented gas logs with remote. They're looking for something they don't have to physically light every time they crank up the logs. Vented gas logs versus ventless. Again, another term for vent-free. Vented gas log reviews. Vented gas logs installation. How do you install it? Vented gas logs with blower. This would be a great topic right here in terms of how to get more efficiency out of that. Vented gas logs smell. Now that's interesting, okay? Because very frequently, if the logs are not positioned correctly, there will be a smell. So that's something to address. And then vented gas logs versus vent-free. So this right here, you can see 3 of these they do want a comparison with vent-free type logs. So let's go through and add these to our chart now. Okay, so I paused the screen recording just so it would not drive you crazy, but you can see I took a screenshot here, and this is something I'm going to touch base on because what you'll notice here is that when you do a search on Google, okay, the suggested searches go away. Now, I want you to look real quickly here is that when I just take the S off of logs, it changes some of the related searches. And so what we want to see here is, again, whether we can learn anything from it. But I'm going to take a quick screenshot here. And this is on my Mac, so it will work a little different on your PC. But I use a tool called Skitch, which is also a great free tool right here. And I highly recommend it because you can make annotations directly from it. But you can see I just took a screenshot of that search, and I'm going to just kind of plug it in right here because it makes it much easier to reference in terms of when we're trying to gather ideas. Now you can see there's not too much on here, but you do see there's a couple related terms, okay? Vented gas log sets, vented gas log kits. And so those are shopping terms that we want to reference. So anyway, but let's take a look at what I did with the Google related searches, okay? On the left-hand column here, I made a note of what the term was. So vented versus vent-free, unvented, and ventless. Comparison of vented gas logs to vent-free. And I want to make sure that we include any of the other terms that come up for a product. And so for vent-free, it referenced unvented and ventless. Vented gas log BTU. How much heat do vented gas logs generate? And this really needs to be a part of the comparison that we do with the vent-free. Vented gas logs with remote. Why do people want a remote? Why? When can and when can't they use a remote with vented logs? That needs to be a part of our article. Installation of vented gas logs. Okay, so we need to talk a little bit about installation and whether a pro is required, who can do it, and that's where we'll want to look for pictures and videos. Vented gas logs with blower. This should be a subsection under the BTUs in heat generation. And this is something we can explore, and this will, as we do the research, determine how deep we want to go to this. Vented gas logs smell. That's very interesting, okay? My question is, do vented gas logs smell more than other logs? Why do gas logs smell in general? What can you do about it? Is it dangerous? Different things that we want to note, okay? So, finally, VGL, vented gas logs versus a gas insert. I noted this because you'll see gas inserts crop up all the time, okay? And I really think that this is something that needs to be just elaborated a little bit on because I'm not sure whether there's confusion with what the industry uses this term for or not. But again, this is something that I think ought to be noted. And what are the people really looking for, okay? And we need to just explore that just a little bit. It might end up being a sentence or a note, a tip, or something. But look, right off the bat here, we have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 interesting ideas to pursue. So that was from the Google-related searches. Now, if we move on, there's another tool called the Moz Keyword Explorer. And this is a subscription service that I have access to. And so here are what they do. When we key in vented gas logs into their again, their keyword, they call it Keyword Explorer, some things come up, okay? Vented gas logs, we've already got that. Vented gas logs with remote, we have that. Well, look, Home Depot, very interesting, okay? Then we've got blower, smell, vented gas logs for fireplace versus gas insert. We've got that. Lowe's, propane. Okay, well, that's a good one. So I'm going to add to my list now Home Depot and Lowe's, okay? And I'm going to say something along the lines of where is the best place to buy vented gas logs? What is the difference in big box stores and local dealers or online stores? Now, this is it's the same as with fireplace doors. Home Depot and Lowe's carry very low-end, cheap gas logs, and this is something where we could really do a nice little comparison. But I do think that this needs to be noted to help people make a decision where to buy. We could have a simple price survey and some other things. In here also, we have on here propane. What are the different fuels for vented gas logs? Different fuels for vented gas logs and how to determine what kind of fuel is in your home. Okay, so this right here is, we can keep on going. Most efficient gas logs, okay? How expensive? These are some very good questions right here. So I'm going to go ahead and do a screen grab. And these right here, you may also export into a CSV, okay? And at the end of the day, it would be very helpful overall if we just did have this in some sort of spreadsheet file to come back and reference, because it would be very easy to come back and even go a little more in depth into some of these topics in a future guide, because this is still a very broad topic. Okay, so here, that is the Moz tool right there, and we've grabbed a couple of how do vented gas logs work. So a number of things that we can explore on here. I'm going to add this to this real quick. How do vented Okay, now we will keep on going here to look at another tool, and that is going to be a tool called Answer the Public. And so what Answer the Public does is it pulls it all from Google, they all do to some degree, but this is the site, answerthepublic.com. This man will always come up right here. And so then we click Get Questions, okay? So what it does is start searching. And you can see that 43 questions, 39 prepositions, and 40 alphabetical things come up. And it comes up in a chart like this, okay? Then it has prepositions. Now, this can be a little hard, and then alphabetical here. It sorts it. Vented gas logs that radiate heat, vented. So this is a very good list right here, but the key is going to be, again, how we interpret this and then use it to develop our article. So I have exported this into a file right here, okay? And fireplace gas logs. And again, I'm not going to go through this right here, but how to measure for fireplace gas logs. That's a great question right here that just popped out. Here's questions. How to install. How do gas fireplace logs work? Where to buy, who sells. Okay, so this right here will give us some very good data to help us populate and complete our outline and topics here. So, how do gas logs work? Let me go back here real quick, and that one was, sorry about this, but I've lost the spreadsheet here. This right here was the Moz export I did, and okay, where to buy, how to install, how to clean, how to. So this right here is just, I think we'll just capture all of these, where to buy, who sells. So you can see here, I'm going to put this in here as Answer the People. So there, we've got it all right in there, okay? So that's answer the people. Now I'm going to look over here at Quora, which is a question and answer. So it's got, do gas logs dry the air? What should I consider about buying? How are they different from wood burning fireplaces? Could be in the heat generation. So we probably ought to add that to the outline in terms of BTUs. How much do vented gas on? And compare to wood burning also. Okay, so then we've got, that's a good one. How much clearance do you need between gas logs and a firebox? That was the how to measure. Do I need to use logs for my fireplace, water lines, or scopes? Gas fireplace. These could be used for some FAQs. Can I burn logs in a gas fireplace? That's not really for vented gas logs. So we've got that. Now, let's take a quick look at YouTube, okay, which is also, this is actually the world's second largest search engine. And so when you key in vented gas logs, you get some things here. And most of them are just titles of the different videos. But here, how to light the pilot on a vented gas log set, okay? So that could be easily go along with the remote. Okay, now this will come into more play as we're researching and actually providing content. So let's keep looking. Frequently, we will already have a gas log, or I'm sorry, keyword research. And the purpose really here, you can see here that in some of it, and it showed up on some of the other things, some of the manufacturers. And again, this article, you could write a whole book on gas logs, so you're going to have to be selective. A future one could be reviewing the different manufacturers of gas logs. But these are definitely something that needs to be at least referenced within the article. And so we can put this in here as kind of, add a couple rows down here. Popular manufacturers of vented gas logs. So there we go. Those are kind of the main things. In this doc right here, I have referenced them where you can certainly go into more detail, but I hope you get the idea so that we can start to put this together. The next thing now is going to be talking about research, and I'll do that on a separate video so this does not go very, 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 very long.